Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? Hope you're all doing very well today. So today's date is Friday, March the 10th. And I'm gonna give it like one more minute for people to come in and to join. Welcome to Day Traders Club, Team Philakone. Team Philakone. I'm a big fan of Team Philakone. It's the only clothes I wear. Like 4 years ago, I used to buy only brand name shit like, Versace, Gucci. Look at me, I'm wearing brand name stuff. But now, I literally just buy like the cheapest shit that you can imagine, because you have to think of it like every $10 that you spend is not really spending $10. You're actually spending $100. Every $100 you spend, it's not really $100. It's more like $1,000. The reason for this is because if you were to take that $10 and put it into the market and diversified your portfolio, in the next bull market, it's going to be worth like $100. And the same with 100. It's going to go to 1,000. So for the past 3-4 years, I just make my own t-shirts for like $10 and I wear that. If you guys ever saw me walking around the street, you would be like, this guy's, you wouldn't even recognize me, I find that the people that don't have a lot of money, they're the ones that try to look rich. They're going to walk around the streets with their everything brand name. I'll go to whenever I travel, right? I always travel business class. It's one of the things that I like to spend my money on because I like the seats. I like the express lines. I like being able to lie down, and I'm dressed like in a t-shirt and shorts and nothing is brand name. But then I'll look in the economy class line and then there's a guy that's dressed from like Gucci head to toe with a Louis Vuitton bag. And he's like, way back in row like 59 or something like that. It's like, I think that if you're going to do really well in crypto, you've got to make a lot of compromises in your life. Don't go out to eat as much. Don't buy those brand name things. Don't try to look the part, because if you want like generational wealth that's going to last for your kids, you have to make sure that you're spending it on only the things that really matter. So forget about the brand names. Just focus on the market. So I'm going to jump right into this. Thank you everybody for joining me. I'm very happy that you're still here, because to be quite honest, in the past week, you guys could have been obliterated. This is the first month in how long? In 2 years where I'm actually down this month. Yeah, I'm down about $10,000 this month, and I have no problems telling you guys this. And the reason why I'm being honest about this is because I want you to know that not every single month is going to be a profitable month, especially right now. And like today, for example, I was really upset last night because I lost $11,000. I woke up my wife in the middle of the night, and this is a really important story for you guys to hear. I woke her up in the middle of the night, like around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And I said to her, hey, babe, I lost like almost $12,000. And she got up, of course, because that's surprising to hear that from me. And she was really upset because she knew that I was so freaking upset because I don't make these kinds of losses usually. But then again, I was in a $1 million position. I was in a 50 Bitcoin position, which I showed my entire Discord group with a tight stop loss. And she came downstairs, had a cigarette with me. And the first thing I said to her was, can you order me some vodka? I really wanted to start drinking because I was so upset about this gigantic drop. And then she's like, no, I'm not going to do it for you. So I put on my pants, got on my jacket. I was ready to walk out of the house to go buy a bottle of vodka. And then you know what? I looked at her and I said, you know what? I'm actually going to go to sleep instead. So I took everything off and I went straight to sleep. And then I woke up today and my wife was really sensitive towards me. She was like, really upset that I was upset, right? But you know what I did instead? I said to myself that these losses, they happen, and I've been profitable for a really long time. And I have to just accept the fact that I'm going to take a loss. There's no amount of complaining, no amount of whining that can get back my loss. I've made the mistake. I've learned from it. Actually, the mistake was crazy. Like I said this in the Discord group. Let me show you guys exactly the post for the Discord group that we said right here. I said to the Discord group that I'm being very clear that this is an amazing setup, but I'm not here to tell you to take the trade or not. Your money, your choice, your wins, your losses, your decision, your risk. And I gave them the exact setup that I would take personally myself. And the setup was great. There was a possible major opportunity, and I stuck to my stop loss, and I'm very proud of it. So whenever you take a loss, there's no amount of whining or complaining that's going to get back your win. All you can do is be a champion about it with the right attitude. And instead of me drinking yesterday, I went to sleep. I woke up today. I updated the entire group. I actually just went downstairs about 10 minutes ago, did my whole pre-workout thing that I took, and I'm in about 45 minutes. I'm going to hit the gym really hard. I'm going to run 45 minutes on the treadmill as well. And then I'm going to come back and work even more. And then I said to myself, that's it. I gave myself 2 hours of complaining and whining and being sad about my loss, and I'm going to get right back into it because that's what a champion does. They understand that they're going to fall down, but it's a matter of how long you stay down and how quickly you get back up. That's going to make you successful in this crypto market. So if you are taking a loss this month, understand that it's okay. It's a very hard month to be trading, and you will be okay. As long as you take these losses with a grain of salt, use them as a very wise opportunity to learn. Don't use it as an excuse to go get crazy, to be sad about it, to go start drinking, to do bad things. Use it as an opportunity to get back up the next day and start doing it better, because I know that if you believe in yourself, you're going to eventually be successful. So enough with the whole speech. Well, that was a long speech, but it was a good speech. You guys needed to hear that. So let's talk about, first of all, how I lost this. And it's important for you guys to understand why I lost it, because I know that a lot of you lost as well. Okay, so if we take a look back here, I'm on the 3-day chart. Actually, I'll go to the daily chart. You can see that there's a clear support around here. The reason why is because November had a clear resistance. January had a clear resistance. February had a clear support. So because of these regions, you would automatically assume that it's going to provide some level of support. And the way that you take Fibonacci is from the beginning of the structure to the end of the first wave. That's for wave 1. And then the next wave that you take is from the beginning of the structure to the end of the next wave. That's wave 3's Fibonacci. But wave 5 Fibonacci, you do not take it like that ever. You have to take it from the entire wave, from the beginning to the end. That is how you draw Fibonacci. So the Fibonacci structure is like that. So on top of these 3 zones, it also combines at a 382 Fibonacci right there. On top of that, there was a major potential for a diagonal that was forming, where I really thought that this was going to squeeze and then break upwards instead of down. So we take a look at the 3 support regions, the wedge, and also the Fibonacci. That's why I lost that money. I lost it because I took a chance at a very high probability zone too long. And that's okay. You're going to be wrong sometimes. So make sure you understand that the stop loss is what's going to save your life. If you let this thing ride after it breaks out already, you're going to be devastated and you will end up getting liquidated. So it's okay. We lost that trade. Now moving on to the next one. Okay. So first of all, the reason why this is very important is because there's a golden ratio. Bitcoin is coming up to a golden ratio, and that's right around $19,200. And make sure you guys understand again that it's your money, it's your choice, it's your wins, it's your losses, it's your decision, and it's your risk. And just because I'm telling you that there might be a bounce opportunity here doesn't mean I'm going to be right. And if I am wrong and you took that risk, remember that it's still on you, right? Because you're the one that's ultimately going to be responsible for whether you win or whether you lose. So taking a look here, you see that Bitcoin can easily reach the golden ratio right around the 19,200 region. But more importantly, take a look at this, okay? Let's switch it to the daily, zooming in a little bit. If I'd use this tool called the volume profiler, fixed range volume profile, and let's say I started from here to around there, what you're going to see is that this red line here, it marks the point of center for where the volume was concentrated. And you can see that that red line is around $19,000. So I would say that anywhere between the golden ratio inside of the golden pocket, which is around 19,200 to 18,900, it should provide some level of support. And the first logic was that this region here, 21,500, was going to provide support, but it failed. So every time the price reaches a lower price point and it breaks these regions where you would expect it to support, the next region would provide a higher possible chance to support. So this region, we expected it to bounce, it failed. So because it failed, the next region should provide a higher level of support. It's kind of like when you're going to the upside, right? When you're rallying to the upside, every time you break a key resistance, let's say you broke a resistance here, the next time there's a resistance, it should provide more of a resistance. It's the same logic for a downtrend as well. So in my opinion, that is it called the point of control? I thought it was called the point of center. Hold on, I'm going to Google that. Volume profiler, point of center. Oh, it is point of control. Hey, my bad. I had no idea. So POC just sounds like point of center. But either way, we understand what that is. Hey, I appreciate you letting me know that, AbZero. Either way, we understand what that is. It refers to the point where it has the most concentrated volume. So I apologize if I didn't know that, AbZero. So anyways, so this region here, it should provide some level of support. And the thing is, if we don't get some level of support here, Bitcoin would now be considered extremely bearish. And every time we retrace further and further, the likelihood of the next wave going to the upside would be lower and lower. So we retrace a huge amount, the wave 3's potential would be even lower. So I really believe that it's going to be now or never. And I'm probably going to add a substantial amount for a long-term portfolio here. The reason for that is because this particular wave made an incredibly beautiful price point. It made a really nice rally with a clear impulse wave. And because of that, I'm going to take the chance of adding at the golden ratio. And if I'm wrong, so be it. At least I took a major opportunity of a place, in my opinion, has low risk to add for long term. Why would I not? I can't risk waiting for a lower price because it may never get there. So yes, I am going to add to a long-term portfolio right here around $19,000 to hold long-term, probably a substantial amount as well. Hi Phil, there is also a trend line from waves 1 and 3. I'm not sure what you mean, a trend line from waves 1 and 3. I'll go over your guys' stuff in a few minutes. Yes, the S&P 500 also dropped a substantial amount as well. As we can see, it's at 318 now. And ever since Powell gave his speech a few days ago, we were at around 4,100 or so. And then we've dropped significantly. Powell gave his speech, I think, 3 days ago. We were at around 4,170. Actually, what were we at? No, we were at 4,100. We dropped a pretty substantial amount. It was basically the message from Jerome Powell right now is that they're going to keep continuing these rate hikes until the economy is stabilized. That's pretty much the main thing. But ever since we got that speech, that day was pretty volatile and we did reach a lower price. So right now, guys, you have to make the decision. You got to make the decision of what kind of risk you want to take. Do you want to risk buying, even for short term, even for a day trading? Do you want to risk going into a long opportunity? And you have to know, what are you going to do when it reaches this price point? Are you going to long? Are you going to do nothing with it? Are you going to short if it goes lower than that? But right now, first of all, you got to understand that this is a major price point and something could happen there. So I would recommend to not sit idly. I would recommend to definitely dissect what you're going to do at these particular price points. And I know two things that I'm going to do. One, I'm going to go into a long position for a day trading position, probably with like $500,000 or $1 million for Bitcoin. I usually trade about 40 to 50 Bitcoins, as we've seen lately, for a long position or short for Bitcoin. And then I'm probably going to add about 250 to 300K for the long-term portfolio around these regions, maybe even more depending on how we react. But of course, I want to reserve some as well, just in case we get to a lower price point. But if we don't get to a lower price point and we break above wave 5, that's where I'll also be adding as well. So that's how it stands, guys. And also Ethereum is doing something very similar as well. We take a look at how it's forming. It's probably something like this, I would imagine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Ethereum as well. And we can see that it's almost at the golden ratio as well. But what we've noticed is coins like Ethereum dropped about 22%. I think Bitcoin dropped 23%. So you don't have to trade Bitcoin. Yeah, Bitcoin dropped 23%. So for example, in my portfolio here, I'm carrying these coins. So for example, a coin like Sol probably dropped 40-50%, I'm guessing. So Sol dropped 41%. Aave, for example, dropped 32%. I'm probably going to guess Algo dropped a lot as well. Algo dropped probably more. No, 37%. So what I'm getting to is that altcoins have a higher beta. And a beta refers to when you compare it to a main coin, like the traditional coins, for example, Bitcoin to the standard, it's going to move a lot more and multiply it by a factor. So if Bitcoin ends up moving like 2 to 3%, alts are generally going to move more than 2 or 3% and multiplied by a factor as well. So I'm just going to take a look at some of the comments that you guys are making and see if I can answer any technical questions. I don't dive into fundamentals with the group because I am no economist and I don't pretend to be as well. So make your decision, guys. Like, how many of you are going to take an opportunity here? Whether I'm right or wrong, it doesn't matter because we don't know that yet. And you can't be anxious about a price point or a bounce that may or may not occur yet. The only question you got to ask yourself is this price point worth your risk? And I can't determine that for you. But to me, because it's the golden ratio, we're overextended already, in my opinion. You take a look at all the RSIs. We're getting extremely low right now, like 4-hour dip to about 10 RSI. I'm pretty sure the daily is getting low as well. The daily is now below 30 at 27. So based off of RSI, we're seeing that it's a really low price point already. I can't guarantee a bounce, but I think there's going to be an opportunity. Taking a look at, for example, the 55 EMA, we're super low right now. We're really low. Like we got up to there, the 55 back in February, we bounced. So I don't think we're even close to any 55 EMA support right now. None at all. Even the monthly doesn't show on here. Let's take a look at some lower EMAs, like the 813 and the 21. So based off of that, we're extremely bearish altogether. Let's take a look at Chandelier exit to see where we're back. Okay, so if you take a look here, the Chandelier exit, ever since the all-time high on the 3-day. Since the all-time high, it has always trended below the 3-day Chandelier exit indicator. As you can see, it's always been below the red, below the red, below the red. And here it finally broke upwards, so the momentum changed. But now we're right back into the red with 10 hours left. And whenever we've had bull markets before, or mini bull markets, they tend to go back and forth, back and forth. So just to give you an example, if we take a look at, say, over here, when we first broke out into the new high, right? Over here, we started a rally first of all, then it turned red, then green, then red, then green, then red. Then finally, it stays green, and then it keeps trending upwards. And then the next time it turns red was after it hit the all-time high, and a good close would have been about $46,000. So we know for a fact that every time there's an all-time high that's broken, it's going to first of all oscillate between green and red. So for example, in 2015, when we reached the bottom, it went from red to green, red to green, red to green, and so on. So despite us breaking above the 3-day and turning green, where the volatility has now changed, it's now turning back red. So I wouldn't be too surprised if this happens throughout the entire year, that eventually a high is found in about 2015. So I'm just reading your guys' comments right now. Yeah, some people are predicting really low, but we don't know how low it's going to go, right? All you can do is make a prediction, but the truth is, nobody freaking knows how low these are going to go. And even if you think it's going to go that low, who cares what you think? All that matters is what you're going to do about it are these particular price points. Have you prepared for it? Every time it reaches a certain price point, you guys should all have this planned already. What is your action going to be? Are you going to dollar cost average more? Are you going to go into a long opportunity? So right now, I know what I'm going to do. I'm interested in the golden ratio. It may or may not hold, but the risk factor to me is fairly low. And I believe there might be a bounce there. As long as you're keeping a really tight stop loss, it's all right to take these chances because eventually you're going to win more than you're going to lose, in my opinion. And the risk to reward ratio, as long as you're sticking to really good setups, you're going to be successful long term. So if it goes to a lower price point, I would probably be a little bit concerned, but there's also the potential for a double bottom. Hence why I'm going to add even more here. And if we go lower than that, I think that the market would definitely be pretty happy. We would be happy with seeing a lower price point, and I'm sure that a lot of people are most likely going to dollar cost average. So if you take a look at crypto market cap, so let's look at the entire crypto market cap from the week of, like right here. So if you take a look at 2017's all-time high, the market cap here of December, what you're noticing is that this market cap in December of 2017, we actually ended up bouncing right there November, December. So let's just say that Bitcoin goes lower than the current low that we had around $15,000-$16,000. That would mean that the total market cap of crypto would probably go well below here as well. So that would be one of the most bearish scenarios. And then the next support for market cap is literally really low, guys. Really low, like around $400 billion. So that would be incredibly scary. But if it got there, people would be excited because the lower of a price point we get to, the more of an opportunity we're going to have to dollar cost average at a much lower price point. So this emergency broadcast was to let you guys know that, hey, something is going to happen very soon. And I just wanted to bring it to your attention what is going to happen. And there's no denying that this particular price point around 19,200, it's going to be hit. It seems like it's going to be hit. And what are you going to do from there? So anyways, I wanted to update you guys really quickly. My pre-workout is kicking in. So I kind of want to go hit the gym right now. So anyways, thank you very much for joining me today, everybody. I really appreciate it. I hope that you guys stay safe and especially stay positive if you've lost some money, because it's just part of the nature of the game. As long as you bounce back from it and you learn from it, you're going to have a much higher success rate in the future if you keep continuously learning from it. So if you enjoy my content, I'd really appreciate if you guys hit the like, the subscribe, and also the notification bell. So have yourselves a great day and stay optimistic. The bull market will come. We just don't know when, but let's really anticipate for 2024, 2025, where it's going to be a better year. And keep in mind, guys, that it's already like almost the middle of March. 2.5 months already gone. That means that there's like 9.5 months left till the end of the year, and 2024's halving is coming. So just hang in there, guys. Your goal should be to not lose a tremendous amount of money. Your goal should be to preserve your capital for the bull market while dollar cost averaging and taking some very little risks, low risk, high probability setups for day trading if you choose to day trade. So make sure you're protecting that capital the best you can, and you will have a much higher chance of succeeding when the bull market comes. So have yourselves a great night, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. And